Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sports Place, where we talk sports and sports debates. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe for me below, and let's get started. Okay, so Savon, with this first topic, I'm really interested to hear your perspective being an XFL player. So what do you think? Do you think the XFL CFL merger, if it happens, if that's a good idea, or what do you say?
See, man, I'm stuck in between the two when it comes to that. The reason being for me, like being for it, would be because it's a great opportunity for like business, promotion, probably better TV deals and stuff like that. Maybe even some intramural scrimmages between the leagues. But the thing that gets me caught up on, and I talked to Jason about this before, is the style of play and the way the game is played. It's two different games. And then the XFL is also like it's a fan-based football thing. So it's all about making sure the fans are happy. You want to score points. When you got to do trick plays, you can do double passes. You can do 2 forward passes. It's a whole different league. As far as like CFL, they're more ingrained in the way of things. They are very strict in what they do with their rules. Their rules are different than everybody else's. Whereas the XFL, they exploit their rules to make it more fun for the football. You will never have a reporter on the sideline in the CFL giving a guy an interview while he's in the huddle with his coach. When the XFL, that's what we was doing. We was getting the pop. You make a big play, they right there in your face with the camera, giving you your TV time. Is more so an excitement league. The CFL, like I said, they based on their tradition, their state. I don't want to say stuck in their ways, because I feel like that has a negative connotation, but they like what they do, and they do it. They've been doing well. What they've been doing. XFL, they still trying to find their niche. They still trying to find out what's good for them. And me playing XFL, what they had going, it was going really well. And I don't know how that would fit in with the CFL is doing. Of course, it's always good to bring stuff together and make both your leagues bigger. Because like I said, they both still up and coming leagues, even though CFL has been around for a long time. Everybody wants to get to the NFL level. So if they come together and make a plan to root guys back that way, that's cool. But as far as like the games and bringing season together, I just don't know how to work.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Savon. I think, it sounds good. It sounds like you've got a huge league. I mean, the XFL has 8 teams. CFL probably has something similar. I'm not exactly sure how many teams they have, but to bring that together up to like 16 teams would be amazing. I think it would be really cool to have, almost like the NHL, where you have teams in Canada and teams in the United States. I think that would be freaking dope. The problem lies in a couple of things. Number one, if you're a player, you don't want to, and let's say this is just all one league. Not only are the rules different, not only is literally the field size different, but you also have to think about the fact that if you play in Canada, you're going to be taxed differently. And now that's a different deal in when we're talking about the NFL too. This is why people like Tom Brady want to go to Florida, because there's no state taxes versus playing in Baltimore or playing, in some of these places or in California where they're going to kill you with taxes, and by the way, I'm not against taxing, people if you're going to get good things out of it, like healthcare. But, as it exists right now, I understand why players want to play in certain states rather than playing in others. A lot of people, want to play in Miami, want to play. I mean, not only do you get the weather, you get the no state taxes, and their salaries actually look like their salaries. When you play in other states, the league, of course they have league minimums and stuff like that. And you could be a top 10 wide receiver and you play in Baltimore, and then you're a top 10 wide receiver and you play in Florida, you're getting taxed so much in Maryland versus getting taxed so little in Florida. Even though your salaries look comparable, they're not. And so Canada is a whole different level when it comes to that kind of stuff. I have a cousin who hopefully will come on the Sports Place at some point, who's a professional soccer player who played for Toronto FC. And he was like, yo, the taxes are killing me, out here. So I think that's one thing about the players that, they may have some sort of issue with when we look at the XFL and the NFL, the XFL and the CFL and them merging. I think, like Savon said, the style of play is so different. The games are different. The plays are different. I think they have, if I'm not mistaken, the CFL has 12 men on the field, whereas the XFL is more like traditional football with 11 men on the field. It's just a different game. And I think where the XFL is headed right now is in a good direction. I love the fact that they got The Rock involved. The Rock, if there's one thing The Rock knows how to do, it's promote things. I don't even drink, and I was looking at his tequila like, The Rock says it's good, and I don't even drink. You know what I'm saying? The Rock knows how to sell things. I love his new TV show. If you haven't seen it, it's worth watching. It's funny. And so I think his presence is really going to help out the XFL. And I watched the XFL last season, and I thought the product was good. Not only because I was cheering for Savon, but also, and a couple of other players. Shout out to AJ and shout out to a couple other dudes who were in the XFL who I was cheering for. But beyond that, it was really just a good product. And I just want to give one other shout out to my man, Jim Loke, who is on Fox 5 News here in DC or in the DC area. And, we were talking about going to an XFL game and going to see the DC Defenders, but unfortunately the pandemic popped up and then the XFL season got canceled. So I really think the XFL, they don't necessarily need the CFL. If the CFL is willing to adjust and become more of a traditional football league, I think that this could be amazing. I think it could be great. But the CFL, they're going to have to figure out a pay structure where it works for the guys who are in Canada versus the guys who were playing in the United States. Hopefully they'll be willing to conform to what the XFL is doing. They have to come up and merge the business model. But overall, if they're able to work all of those things out, this could be best for the people that I care about, which are the athletes, and the fans. And I think that would be awesome for young guys who aren't necessarily able to make the NFL or maybe get cut last cuts or in the middle of a season or, those bubble players. If you have an opportunity to play football on the field and be seen versus sitting on a practice squad, I think that would be dope for a lot of young players who want to play the game. And if The Rock is able to bring in advertising dollars, that would be amazing.
Real quick, how likely do you think it would be to happen?
I mean, right now they're definitely in talks. Like The Rock and the XFL has actually made statements of being in talks, but they haven't said anything about actual merger. Like I said, it's not really that. Like I said, it doesn't really make too much for a merger, but partnership, cool. So they're still in talks of it. They postponed the XFL 2022 season till they finish the talks. So, but they say they don't no real plans moving forward yet. But I guess we're gonna see.
I hope Savon plays stateside if he's in the XFL. I do believe that Savon's going to be in the NFL, to be honest with you. But if he ends up in the XFL, hopefully he'll be back with the DC. He'll be with the DC Defenders instead of with New York, so I can come see him more often. But I will actually travel up to New York. That's my word. We will do a live episode of the Sports Place.
Do it.
With Savon on the sidelines. We'll get him after the game and all that. But if you like to hear more about the XFL, more about the XFL experience, more about the NFL and all other sports that we can get involved in, please like and subscribe and please comment. We love for you all to get involved in our debates and in our discussions. Tell us what you think. What do you think of a CFL XFL merger? What do you think about the partnership? Are you somebody who would be willing to go to an XFL game and see what that experience is like? We want to hear from you. And Savon, definitely, if you want to start a Savon Walker fan club, he wants to hear from you as well. So like, subscribe, and continue to watch the Sports Place. We've got plenty of other videos. We've got plenty more material coming at you. So I was about to promote the XFL again. Promote the Sports Place and Tour Productions and all of the shows that we have on there. Keep watching. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe. Peace.